Okay everyone, so now that we've addressed this groin problem of Bianca's, we're going to look a little bit lower to the leg. So I'm going to concentrate on trying to free up a little bit of the calf, but most particular what I see a lot with soccer players is the tib anterior and just the general mobilisation of the ankle itself, because they do obviously kick with the inside step of the foot, but at the same time they also do kick on the outside of the foot as well. So and we've just assessed Bianca and she's got a little bit of restriction there. So let's have a look and see if we can't free this up. And this mobilisation technique works really, really well too for people who have chronic sort of calf tightness. And I find that once you get these ankles really freed up, it takes a lot of the load out of the calf. So come on, have a look. Okay, so I'm looking specifically at the moment this tib anterior coming down here, and what I like to do first is just assess how much range of movement they do have in this ankle. So obviously if we come down into plantar flexion, you want to try and isolate where they feel this area. So a lot of people may feel it in the upper part of their tib ant, or they might feel it in the lower part. Okay, same scenario with the dorsiflexion. So we've got an equal amount coming up here, but as you can see, Bianca, she's not renowned for her mobility, okay? So we're dealing with someone who's a little bit more on that sort of hypomobile area, but that's okay. That's great for us therapists because we can always do tissue work on them and improve that. So the first thing I'm going to do is some really broad techniques to truly open up that tib anterior, which is highly neglected as far as I'm concerned. Obviously we can do a lot of work on the gastrocoeles, but we definitely neglect this tib anterior. So I'm going to come down, really broad approach, okay? So the middle finger is basically going to run right along the tib anterior. The other finger over here will sort of rest on the tibia, and then obviously we'll be over here more on that sort of extensor digitorum longus sort of area. This other hand is obviously going to come over the top, and that's how we're going to get that really broad approach coming. So we're going to come from the front of the ankle, but not too much pressure into the front of the ankle, guys, all right? And just sinking down and working up and along. Now, obviously I'm using this because this is really quite specific for the soccer players in terms of their tib anterior. And once again, we're talking about a running athlete, so obviously, and a change of direction athlete, as opposed to, you know, in one of the last series we had with Monica, who is obviously, you know, more of a 400-metre runner, track runner, is going to have a completely different set of circumstances in terms of what's happening with his foot. So we're working all the way along this tib anterior. Now it's funny, when I was working this and testing this before with Bianca, she could have sworn that she had a bruise in the lower half of this tib anterior, didn't you? But I can absolutely guarantee that she doesn't. And that's just the load and the soreness in that tib anterior coming through. Okay, so we're working up along there. And what you can get your clients to do as well, as you're working up along, is get them just to curl their toes over. That's it. So that'll just help try and really stretch and lengthen a lot of that tissue as we work through. Okay, so you get the idea with that. Now I'm going to come in and show you some of these mobilising techniques. So what I like to do here is, obviously I use the towel, so I'm actually going to wrap the towel around the actual ankle itself, okay? Why I do that, it's just that I find that I get a much better traction on the ankle when I'm doing this. The other hand is going to cup underneath. Okay, pretty well match. We're going to run the finger, cup, if you like, that sort of mid-Achilles area, and we're obviously going to rest our sort of the thenar eminence at the back of their heel. The rest of it, obviously, the hand is going to come over the top here, and I'm actually going to use my thigh to take it into dorsiflexion. Now, as I take it into dorsiflexion, I'm then also going to just slightly avert as I take it into dorsiflexion. So I'm just trying to open up that aversion, okay, as you can see there. So I'm sort of tilting as I'm dorsiflexing, okay. Now if you do this right, you'll start to feel the ankle actually start to loosen right up, which I'm going to already feel now with Bianca. And then the dorsiflexion will, as you can see now, starting to improve. Now keep in mind, this is a technique to use on an ankle that obviously doesn't have instability issues or got any pinching or any other types of swelling scenarios or any acute trauma. Okay, so once again, cupping both sides of the ankle, dorsiflexion, and a little bit of eversion. Okay, well, roughly around about 1 or 2 minutes, and you'll feel that ankle really free up, and it'll make a massive, massive difference.
So, if you even remotely enjoyed some of that content, please do me a favour and hit the like button below, just so that I know that you did enjoy it. Also, if you don't want to miss out on any of the content that we put up on a regular basis, then the best way to do that is obviously just to hit the subscribe button. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. But most importantly, if you really want to see the true show, the real show, take the opportunity, hit the link below, stuarthinds.com. That's where we have all the comprehensive assessment, treatment of a whole range of conditions. That's where we have our online courses and obviously our mentoring and so forth, the webinars and our podcasts. So if you're even remotely interested in what we do, go and check it out. Appreciate it. But also, most importantly, again, just be awesome at what you do.